morning, sports fans from all around the globe. I am your host, Jeff Dawson, East Coast Sports Investors. And this is your breakfast bankroll for Saturday, April 30th, 2022, the last day of April. Wake up tomorrow, turn the page on your calendar, as May 1st is in the house. Short menu weekends here. When I say short, meaning full slate in the MLB front. NBA is dark. No game sevens. Imagine that. No game sevens. I guess the NBA is waiting for the second round to get their game sevens in. Crushing news for the 76ers as Embiid is out indefinitely, and they went from plus 160 to like plus almost 300. The Heat are now prohibited favorites, like minus 400 there. Hockey first round matchups are up. I was doing a lot of homework this morning on the first round matchups. There's a couple that the opening numbers are very, very intriguing there. Last day of the NFL draft, rounds 4 through 7, as they wrap that up, and anyone that doesn't get drafted can get signed on Monday there. Congrats. There was a UConn football player, Mr. Jones, I think 75th pick overall, drafted. Last night, the ECSI VIPs 0-2. We are now 5-5 this week. We started off the week so great, 5-2. I went 0-1 on Thursday, 0-2 last night. Pretty salty on the fact that, again, and I'm not exaggerating it, it's at least the sixth time now in 3 weeks we've been tied or ahead, mostly ahead going into the fifth inning, and bottom of the order. And I got Nola, who's given up 2 hits through 4. Facing 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, gives up 2 runs, so we lose. Phillies first 5 plus 100 at the Mets. The Mets no hit the Phillies. That's for another story. And the Jays, you score 4 runs in the first 5 innings, you're supposed to at least push, if not win. We had the minus 1 first 5, 115. And coaching, in my eyes, whatever you want to say, we lose that one 5-4. So for the week, we're down 0.058. Still plenty of work. Again, the board is, I like to say, full of landmines. I just said it on the Discord channel today, and I'm going to reiterate it just a little shorter. People wake up this morning and they're already frustrated 3 weeks in with MLB. Jeff, why do you do what you do? Why aren't you doing this? You should be doing this. And listen, we're here to express our thoughts, our processes. I've been in the business, or I have over 35 years of experience. I'm not perfect. We're not perfect. We're always adding. We're always subtracting. I say it's that 7-course meal that never ends. And in baseball particularly, there are odds, there are money lines. So you can't go out there and bet minus 200s. You're going to get crushed. And I say I'm not going to bet a minus 200, minus 1.5 run line if I'm the home team. Why? Because I'm only guaranteed 24 outs. So I'm already giving you an advantage where you have 27 outs versus my 24 outs. I'm not saying we're not going to do it, but I'm not going to make that a daily play for us just because I want to get in. So when you see a big favorite and you try to get in, the chances are your best shot is in the first 5. That's where your edge is. Or that's where we assume the edge is. So last night, I put this on the Discord channel. Anyone that had the Yankees run line, it was no bet. It was rained out after 8. Yeah, Yankees were up 12-2. Yeah, they were going to cover the run line. Guess what? You didn't get paid. And I told you guys on the show, there were plenty of games out there that looked too good to be true. You're just not getting my money. So when they come running in, then the people, the public, the DJ say, Jesus, this is fish in a barrel. That's exactly what Vegas and the books want. When you get complacent and when you think it's that easy, you go broke. Or you go on a run that will never end, meaning it's quicksand and you can't get out. Just look at all the DJs out there right now, chasing and chasing and chasing. They wake up this morning and they're like, oh my God, you're going to give me Cole only minus 200 against Hernandez? Yes, the Yankees crush the Royals. They do. So go run to the window. Go get a second mortgage. Go get a third mortgage. Go pound the Yankees. First 5 minus the hook. Full game minus a run and a half. And there's a handful of those out there. But you don't need me for that. Anyways, sermon number 3 done for the day. As you can see, I've been up a long, long time today. I'm feisty. I'm ready to go. So let's bring him in from the palm tree state himself, Mr. Scott Webb. Morning, Scott.
Good morning, Jeff. How are you? Other than salty.
Yeah, nothing better. Hey, listen, I'm a firm believer. You start the week well, and you're going to have a great week, or you hope to have a great week. We were sitting going in Thursday 5-2, took one swing on the White Sox first 5 on Thursday, and that game right there, you get to 6-2 after Thursday. There's no way in hell I am not cashing and have an envelope Monday. There is absolutely zero chance. And the White Sox bats nothing, and then go 0-2 last night again. The Nola game was supposed to at worst push. Hey, listen, they didn't get any hits while Nola was dealing. All right, just get us the push and move on. And then for the Jays scored 4 for us, and then again we lose on a pass ball, and we had first and third. And we, again, Bo Bichette, we won't have the Jays today, Scott. Bo Bichette will go 4 for 4, probably with 2 homers, But
I hope not.
But that's baseball. And you know what really infuriates me, as you can tell by at least now 2 sermons today, is there's no exact science to bet baseball. There's none. And the fact of the matter is, when you wake up and you see some of this stuff that stick out like sore thumbs, and they're just enticing you, and you go run and you chase, and that's what you're doing, is you're chasing. You're going to fall into the traps long term. And it just pisses me off sometimes. But enough of me. How you doing today?
I'm good. I didn't do too good last night, but I'm good. I had back-to-back 1 and 3 nights, Jeff. And that's after a 4-1 start too. So, I'm not going to sit here and tell people that you struggle doing this stuff. You don't. That's not the truth. And those of you, I shouldn't say it that way. Those people that are out there that go, oh, you guys don't ever lose, and you don't do this and you don't do that. It happens a lot. And it happens like this. You run into little streaks. It doesn't mean your handicapping's poor. It just means things didn't happen for you. I was on New Orleans, or not New Orleans. I was on NOLA last night, just like you were. And it didn't happen. I was on San Francisco and they got smashed. So, it's things happen where, baseball is 162 games. So, the average of things certainly plays out that way. The Dodgers just got beat by Arizona in a series, not one game. They lost a series to Arizona. And then, we had 2 things I thought happened in the Discord channel last night that was pretty good. The first one, we had one of our people in there suggested a play that they made, and I thought it made a lot of sense, and it was a good play. They played plus money on the Angels yesterday, and they obviously thought Syndergaard was going to pitch, and then when he didn't pitch, it was no big deal. They were like, oh yeah, maybe it's even better. And what they do, they go on one. I think it was, I don't remember the scores, like 5-2 or 3-1 or 4-1, something like that. But they won pretty convincingly with no issue, and they got plus money on it. And I thought that was a good look. And then we had a same thing happen, but just different way. Well, that I think was a good look too, but it depends on what they learned from what they looked, because everybody was pretty happy about playing St. Louis yesterday in the Discord channel. They were wanting to play St. Louis, and okay, we're going to gang up on Arizona and we're going to beat them up. And Bumgarner's pitching, and he throws lollipops up there now. Yeah, well, he beat the shit out of St. Louis, didn't he? So it's baseball's that way. And I'm not trying to say that you can't have your opinions and you can't do different things, but it's not easy. And sure, you want to go pick on the bad teams, and that's what you should do. You should pick on the bad teams. But at the same time that you want to pick on the bad teams, you got to pick your spots. And one of the comments I think I put in there was, Wainwright was the pitcher for St. Louis last night. He's a great pitcher. He's a great pitcher, especially right now if he's an underdog. I'm never betting Wainwright as a favorite because he doesn't have the stamina, and he doesn't have the velocity to get the outs by himself. He has to rely on the ball to be hit to somebody. So if the ball's in play, you got a problem in itself already. So you just got to be real careful on how you wager on these things. And I think that I don't want to call them lessons learned, but I think those are two good things that came out of the Discord channel just last night.
I agree, and I appreciate everyone in there shouting out and asking questions or putting out stuff like that. And it's good for the whole community there. It's good to see what other people are seeing, not just what they're seeing, and tell us why they're seeing it. And again, you don't have to be shy in there. Some people have been hiding in the weeds, just hanging around, but that's fine. We're here to help. We're here to talk, and we're here to throw stuff out there to provide as much education and information as possible. And we try to do that on a daily basis. Yeah, it's quiet some days. There's a lot of stuff going on here, a lot of moving parts, but you still can throw a question or two out there, or you can throw some stuff that you're looking at, and then we can wrap back around or circle the wagons, as we like to say, and come back at them. I talked about the NHL. I'm just going to throw that out there. There are prices out there for the first round in the series, and we got a lot of viewers today. So grab a notepad here. There's two series that really jumped out at me. First, the Hurricanes have outscored the Bruins, Scott, 16-1 this year. They have the home ice advantage against the Bruins. Yet the Bruins opened up -110. Now, I was born at night. I wasn't born last night. Vegas is begging for Hurricane money. Take the Bruins here. Just take it. If you want to wait till Monday, hopefully you get the Hurricane money. Maybe you get the Bruins at +105, +110. You can do that. But Vegas is basically telling me they're making a stance. They think the Bruins will get by on that one. Second of all, this is right down your alley, Scotty. The defending Stanley Cup champions, the Tampa Bay Lightning, facing the Toronto Maple Leafs, who can't win the first round. Up 3-0 lose, up 3-1 lose. It doesn't matter. They can't win the first round. We all know that. They're facing the Cup champs. Toronto Maple Leafs, -130 to win that series. So I think you're going to get some Lightning money coming in on that. If you want to be patient there, you can sit and wait, because I can guarantee you everyone's going to be sitting there holding the CLV and the EV on the Lightning, saying there's no way. The Leafs can't win the series. We all know that. I don't care if they're up 3-0. They're not going to win. Well, Vegas is making another stance and telling you the Leafs not only are going to win a couple games, they're going to win that series. So Bruins and Leafs, keep an eye on those. Any thoughts early, Scott? What is the temperature of the Lightning right now?
I think it's mixed, to be honest. Um, I don't think they finished that strong. I don't think that they're in a position where, the local news media and everybody's talking about, living on what they've done in the last few years. And I don't personally see the, I don't want to call it fight because that's not the right word. I don't want to see them the classified as a team that's really hungry. They're not hungry. You know what I mean? Like they're not that. So, and I think of all major sports, when you get into the playoffs, if you're not a hungry team, you're gonna get shown out at some point, and you can't turn that switch on unless you get motivated or inspired by something somewhere. Sometimes these guys, things happen, and they play these series, and some bad blood happens or this or that or whatever, and they get to a point where, what, screw this, I'm going to turn, I'm ready to go, and stuff like that can happen. But the word around town basically has been that this is just a team kind of finishing out the season, and then they're going to go play in the playoffs, and they're just not playing their best hockey. And if you're not playing your best hockey, that's okay, but you better change that the moment you step on the ice in the playoffs, because it's quicker, faster, more hard hitting, and every goal, every save, everything matters even more. And I think they got a good coach back there, and I just don't know if I don't really believe in him as a inspirational guy or a motivating guy. I just think he's a good X and O's guy. He's good at matchups a little bit. So I don't know. I guess we'll just have to see how they come out. But that's kind of the word around here.
Anyone new to our show or our followings, if you can do us one quick favor, just jump over to YouTube or Twitch or both and just subscribe. It's free. Hit the like button. Tell a friend or two. We'd much appreciate that. Going to bring up the MLB board. Everyone's waiting for. Again, listen, Scott. I another 15 hours in here from last night to today. Vegas isn't giving away any money today, in my eyes. And again, hopefully you're going to steer me wrong. I see a couple spots that are intriguing that you can get in. Are they the right side? I don't know, but intriguing today.
Well, I'm going to cover some of these games and what my kind of thoughts are on them, and then kind of go from there. So this Arizona St. Louis game is the first one. This is Kelly and Michaelis, whatever you want to call him. I will tell you this, that Merrill Kelly. What's really interesting about this pitching matchup? Merrill Kelly and Michaelis were both pitchers in the KBO. Kelly came over before Michaelis did, and now Kelly's actually pitching very well for Arizona. And Michaelis is off of his best game of the year, and that just tells me, okay, this is a problem in itself. When you're looking at that format, you don't want to really back a soft tosser that's off of back to back great starts, and he's off of his best one. And Kelly is not nearly as soft tosser as Michaelis is. And I say soft tosser because he throws 90. He does throw 93 miles an hour, Michaelis. He just don't do it very often. So looking at metrics and all that stuff, this looks like a lower scoring game to me, with the possibility that Arizona could put up more runs than St. Louis today. The issue that I have here is when you formulate that opinion and then you go, well, let me just go check the weather. Okay. And you go check the weather, and goddamn, Jeff, it's 16 to 20 mile an hour winds blowing out to left field. Okay. I don't know what to tell you. I'm off the game. I'm not betting unders. I'm not betting overs. I'm not betting nothing, because it just throws a monkey wrench into everything. And there's a lot of wind out there today, in several games. But so I'm just going to stay off that game altogether. I did like this Houston Toronto game. And you got Garcia against Barrios, and we've been talking about Barrios. What Barrios do you get? And his last time out was the best Barrios you got. That doesn't mean that he's not capable of back-to-back good starts, because he is. And Houston has this goofy lineup right now, and Altuve's not there. Brantley wasn't in the lineup last night. Not sure. I haven't seen the lineup yet today, but I like Garcia in this spot. Garcia's off of one of his more poor starts. He's really a young kid trying to figure out how to pitch. But what I like is he's got his base on balls under control, and Barrios doesn't. So he's at 8.04 strikeouts per 9 innings, Garcia. His walk rate's 2.3 per 9. Where you think Barrios is this big strikeout guy. Well, he maybe used to be, but he's only got 7.3 now, which is below average. And his walk rate's 3.44, which is above average. And you're playing the Astros, and you want to be a ground ball pitcher when you play the Astros, and he's not. He's got a 47% fly ball rate. That's not very good. His metrics are showing 5.0 xFIP and 4.62 SIERA. So if you're looking at, just call him an ERA if you want to, a 4.6 ERA against a 3.9 ERA of Garcia, you got an edge with Garcia. And the other thing that I thought was kind of impactful here, walks plus hits divided by innings pitched, right? The whip rate. So your whip rate is 1.58 for Barrios. So that means he's got 1.5 guys on base every inning. And for Garcia, it's only 0.96. So that's barely one. So I like the idea that you're going to have more opportunities to score runs with Houston than you are with Toronto. Now, when you go to the bullpens, and you got to look at that, Houston used up a lot of their good guys. Your Maytone was pitched last night, and Abreu pitched last night. And they threw 20-plus innings or 20-plus pitches. Usually when they don't back-to-back 20-plus guys, 20-plus pitches. Now he could throw 10. So I don't like the idea that I'm going to be at a setback in the back end of this game. So I do like the idea that Garcia is possibly the better pitcher in this matchup today, and I can get him in the first 5 innings at plus 125. So that's what I did. I played Houston plus 125 in the first 5 innings. I will throw this one caution out there, and I'm just going to say it. The Toronto Blue Jays are obviously one of the best teams in Major League Baseball, and they're one of the best teams in the American League. And not that Houston's not, but it's not easy to beat them in 2 games at home. So it's a good spot for just situationally for Toronto to come off of a loss. But I like Houston. I like the better pitcher. So that's the way I bet it. Plus, I think I can get a little value with him at the 125 spot. Los Angeles and the White Sox here. Again, I thought both of these 2 pitchers are going to get hit. But this one, you have a 16, 15 mile an hour wind blowing straight in from center field. So it screws up everything when you think they're going to score runs, and then you got wind, they can't hit home runs. And I just don't want to play it that way. So then I'm going to go back to the scene of the crime, Jeff. And we're going back to San Francisco today. And I'm looking at Adon against Webb. And, at the beginning of this year and at the beginning of Major League Baseball season, I preached and talked about don't be afraid to go back to the well where you went just yesterday, because a lot of times your handicap is good. It's just a day off, right? So that's what I'm doing here. And what I like here is Logan Webb has pitched well. He hasn't pitched great. Now I say that in a sense that He hasn't had one of those great big starts where he's got 0 runs, 1 run, only a couple hits, that kind of thing. His game score for the season's a 57, so that's pretty damn good. His last time out was a 54. So that's not even, that's a little bit below what he normally does. So, but what I liked here is a couple of things. One, Adon he's not a big strikeout guy, only 7.5 per 9 innings. That's below average, but he walks everybody. He's got a 4.66 walk rate per 9 innings, and his fly ball rate's 41%. So damaging blows, right? You fly balls, doubles, triples, extra bases, whatever. And then when you start to look at it, he also shows a real high batting average, 278. And Jeff, we talked about this every day. It's 0.2330 or 0.231 major league batting average. So he's way off. Whip rate's 1.66. We just hit that. Putting more than 1.5 guys on base. But what's interesting about Adon here is his hard hit rate's 38.1%. Now that's in the bottom third of all of baseball. So he's not fooling nobody. They're hitting the ball hard. So I like Webb in this spot. And I'm going to tell you how I played it in just a second, because I looked at it on a, you can get it at -1.5 at my basically 100, which isn't, I don't have a problem with that. So I paired that game up with another game. So I paired that up with San Diego and Manaea. Manaea's off the worst start he had. So I like Manaea against Pittsburgh here. Brubaker's one of those guys that's in the same boat as these other guys. He can't throw strikes. So I like the idea that they're going to have opportunities to score runs. And if I can play them on the money line, I combined them. So I made a parlay out of that. I took San Francisco and San Diego. San Francisco -220, San Diego -160, plus 137. So I made it a plus 137 parlay. And then the last game that I played today, Jeff, was Seattle. Right back to the scene of the crime again. And this is Robbie Ray. Now, you and I both know, and I talked about it, you talked about it. We're not high on Robbie Ray. And this is against Miami today, and this is against our boy that we are high on. We like Luzardo, and I like Luzardo. I like him a lot. And he has pitched, and he basically has outpitched Robbie Ray to this point. What I saw and kind of what I'm looking at here is that the number. Go ahead.
No, I'm listening.
I was going to say the number one offense against left-handed pitching is Seattle. Of course, they're one of the best offenses in baseball, but they're the number one offense against left-handed pitching. And then when I looked at where Miami's at, and Miami's starting to hit, so it's not like they're not starting to hit. They're starting to hit. Jeff, they're only 25th or 26th against left-handed pitching, and that doesn't bode well for me in that spot. And especially when you always have to ask yourself, which Luzardo are you going to get today? Now, I will tell you that his metrics are showing pretty strong in a sense of he's got his walks more under control. They're not 100% under control, but they're more under control. His walk rate's 4.4, and it used to be higher than that. It used to be 6. So what I'm saying is that he's putting guys on base through base on balls, not necessarily through hits. His batting average against is only 204, so that's pretty good. But his whip rate is 1.26. So 1.26 doesn't sound bad, because I just told you about the 1.5 to 1.6 guys that we were looking at before. But actually 1.26 is in the bottom half of baseball. It's not up there. That's not a good number. So it's one of those spots, and here's where I think that we're going to know whether Luzardo is really good. His left on base percentage right now is 61.1%. Now, the only reason I talk about this is because 61.1% is way, 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 way low. Sometimes a pitcher can't control that as much as you think they can, but more often than not, the guys that can control that, say for example, Logan Webb. We were just talking about him. His is 74.2. He keeps guys from scoring runs. So a younger pitcher has to learn how. And that's where I think we find the opportunities, and we go, oh God, Luzardo is going to be a Cy Young kind of guy because now he's figured out how to keep guys from scoring. He's 61% is really low. It's not the lowest one of the day, I don't think. Well, no, there's one that's in there lower. There's only one guy with a lower left on base percentage starting today than he is, and that's Brubaker. How about that? So you run into these situations where these kids have to figure out how to keep the guys on base. So I got Robbie Ray plus 110, and Miami's bullpen's not that good. We talked about that a little bit yesterday. They got off to a pretty good start against the Seattle. I think they scored 2 runs in the first, and then Seattle came back and made it 3-2, and then they made it 5-2 or something, and then they got way ahead. It was like 8-2 or something, but it ended up 8-6. So I think that's what you get out of Seattle. I think Seattle's a team that's going to come up to bat. I think they can always score runs, and I think they're going to be able to hit against the bullpen. So those are my plays today, Jeff. Houston plus 125 first 5 innings. San Francisco and San Diego money line parlay plus 137, and Robbie Ray plus 110.
As you were talking, going over the games, got some kind of sort of breaking news. Anyone going to be up late tonight? Bernie Fratto, good friend of ours, often comes on here. He was doing a lot of talking for us about the lockout, and he's locked in, obviously, on Fox Sports Radio. He'll be on, I think it's 11 Eastern to 2 a.m. We'll be coming on at some point this week, but I guess we talked about Bauer, and it's starting to come out. There were some allegations in 2017 from a couple of women, and then someone just put up, it goes far back as 2013. So lots of times when these cases come to a head, then there's a lot of piling on. I mean, I can just bring up Deshaun Watson right now. I mean, what it started at 3 or 4 women, and I think it ended at around 21, 22 women. So again, I'm not here to preach and say all these are facts, but it sounds like there was a lot of stuff that had happened prior to it to lead to the 2-year suspension. Bernie reached out to us and said that he will definitely come on at some point this week. He is traveling, but we will have him on sometime in the morning there. As for the games, great eyes as always. I see a lot that you do. I was curious if you'd go back to the well with San Fran, Webb versus Aiden. Go back to Arizona, St. Louis. If I told you St. Louis has just now 2 more wins, they have 11. Arizona has 9. So Arizona's made a nice little charge of late. Again, I'm going to sit and watch San Fran first 5. I like them. I'm not going to play them on the run line full game. I don't like to do that. We do it once in a while. I just don't like it. I think Manaya's in a good spot here. First 5 minus the hook, minus 115 against Pittsburgh and Brubaker. I'm going to stay away from Houston and Toronto. Again, we talk at length of which Berrios are we going to get. I think you're going to get the good one. I do. I think these 2 teams, as we're going to see, will be battling each other for a long, long time this year. I think as the season progresses, those will be the 2 teams you'll be chasing. I do lean Suarez, first 5 against the White Sox. I'm not a big Velasquez fan. The White Sox just are not hitting. It's getting pretty ugly. They are now 7-12. A nice start by the Angels. We talked about them preseason, spring training. They were one of our sleepers. 14-7 right now for the Halos. I give them an edge the first 5 here. I don't think there's a problem with you jumping in and trying to grab them first 5. Definitely see an edge with Bieber first 5 against Oakland and Irvin. I'm not going to lay the 140 or 150. You're going to have to go in and lay the half run there. There, big edge, I think, with Tampa and McClanahan. We talked about it yesterday. Bundy was way, way overdue. He blew up. Now you got Archer, who I think, again, coming back to Tampa, big edge for Tampa and McClanahan here, first five there. I say the same with Boston. 9-12. They were 8-12 going in yesterday. They had to hold on. Robles comes into the ninth, gives off a leadoff homer, then a walk, a guy on second. They had to bring in Strom to close it out. Their back end is just not where it needs to be right now. But I think you got a nice edge with Evaldi, though. Watkins has not been bad, Scott. Give me your thoughts on Watkins here. Well, I don't know what his numbers have been the last couple of games.
All right, so Watkins' xFIP numbers 5.35, and his Sierra numbers 5.8. So he's looking near 6. This guy, he is a low strikeout guy, only 3.46 strikeouts per 9 innings, and a bigger walks guy, 4.85. I am never betting a guy that puts more guys on base via walk than strikes people out. I'm not going to do that. So I think that his thing that he has going for him, and I'm not sure how you can calibrate it. His batting average against is only 184. So they're not really hitting him or getting on base via hits, but they're getting the ball in play. So that means he's been lucky in a sense that his batting average is only 184 against him when he's not striking guys out and he's putting guys on base via walk. I think he's a ticking time bomb, to be honest. I think he's probably going to get exploded one of these shots here, and he has there's a number that's called WPA, and WPA is the way I look at WPA. It's kind of like a WOBA number for baseball players. So every pitch, every at bat, everything has an outcome, and then it's graded whether it was a good play or a bad play or whatever, and it's graded against other pitchers instead of other, against WAR like a replacement player. So that number is a number that's indicative of what I call toughness. When the shit was hitting the fan, did this guy pitch pretty good? And that's where right now Watkins is doing well. And that can flip on a dime because you don't always control where a ball's hit. You don't always control what happens. And I think that he's living on the edge and being successful there, but I don't think he has the stuff that's going to keep him there, if that makes any sense.
So I don't have a problem if someone wants to play Red Sox run line full game here. You're getting 27 guaranteed outs. I'm just going to tell you this. Their back end right now is real suspect. Real suspect. So I think you got a better and bigger edge in the first 5 innings. I think.
Dude, just throw Whitlock out there every game.
Yeah, well, we got screwed because of Houken, going to Toronto. I don't know what Mr. Core is going to do. I hope he sees the light and says, we're going to be at our best when we keep Whitlock out there. I'm not comparing him to Josh Hader, but that's my comparison because you can bring him in. He can close if you need him to. He can come in the 6th inning and get you 5 or 6 outs. So that's where they need them to be most successful. So I like Boston here today. I like them first 5 minus the hook. If you want to wait and go full game, I don't have a problem with it. Just know that the back end is not strong right now for Boston. Cole, Kansas City, good luck there. Go run to the window, keep printing tickets. We all know what's going to happen there. Seattle, Miami. Seattle opened up minus 125, guys, last night. Wake up this morning, and again, Miami is favored. The same thing happened yesterday, but Brash was overdue. We did know that. And now you got Ray versus Luzardo, and both teams have seen each one of those pitches plenty of times, I would assume. So Luzardo started, obviously, with Oakland, and Robbie Ray has been on both sides now. So we're okay with it. If you play in Seattle, I go full game like Scott talked about. Trust and respect the opening number there. Atlanta, Texas. My 2 cents here. Hey, we talked yesterday. I thought Atlanta was the play. It looked like they were baiting. I'm just going to go out here, Scott. I could be wrong, but I think they're baiting you for Atlanta today. You like Dunning in this spot?
I like Dunning in this game because I don't like Elder. Now, it's not that I don't like Elder. Elder is a soft tossing young kid. He doesn't have the out pitch to get people out. And when you're facing a team like Texas, you got to have a pitch you can rely on to get them out, because they'll swing at shit all over the place. They'll make themselves get out. But if you don't have that pitch and you can't get them to swing at stuff, they're going to rip you because they can hit. They just haven't been. And when you look at Dunning's numbers are probably way better than you might even think they are. I mean, he's throwing a 3.56 xFIP number and a 3.8 number against Elder at a 5.30 and a 5.50. So you got a better pitcher going for Texas today. The question is, are they too rusty at the plate? Well, you're never rusty at the plate. You're always good. It's a matter of what kind of contact can you make off the pitcher that's throwing out there. And the truth is, Elder is a 6.75 strikeout guy and a 6.75 walks guy. So he's all over the place, living on the edge, this guy. Well, if you're going to live on the edge, you got to play Texas. And here's what I will tell you. Never, ever bet Texas full game if you're going to play on them. Play them first five, because you don't want you're going to lose those bullpen games, man.
So my eyes went this evening, and of course, Clayton, Cy Young, Kershaw opened at minus 360, minus 326. I know if that was Pedro, he'd be minus 2.5 runs, but they're soft nowadays. They don't throw those type of numbers out there. So
hey, I would just say this: we didn't talk about that Philadelphia and New York Mets game, and these are big games in the NL East. Just know that Walker is back from an injury, and he only pitched 2 innings the first time he's thrown. Last time he pitched, which is the first time that he pitched all year, so he's only thrown 2 innings. This is a guy that's only going to go X number of innings again today. This is going to be a bullpen game for the Mets, and Gibson's been really good, and he's off a bad start. So if you're thinking about going to the well, today's a good day to go to the well for Philadelphia.
If you Venmo'd me $100 to bet on the Phillies right now, I'd Venmo you $200 back, and I tell you to go have fun in the afternoon.
I will. I'll go have fun.
Oh God. Tomorrow, guys. I still haven't confirmed it. I might be high above courtside for the Celtics game 1. I was asked to go. I don't know if I'm actually going. It hasn't been confirmed or denied. So there could be no. Actually, tomorrow breakfast bankroll will be a no. Me and myself and Scott will come on prior to the ESPN game, and we're going to talk. Scott's been writing up how to bet the Sunday night game, so I'll make sure we can come on for that. I can't thank everyone enough today. We had a lot of live viewers. Come follow us. Come follow me on EC Sports Invest. Come follow Scott on Webby20 MLB. If you guys are interested, what we're talking about on that Discord channel, DM one of us. We'll get you on there if you'd want. If you're going to be active. How's that, son? Any comments, questions, complaints, you can send us an email to eastcoastsportsinvestors@gmail.com. As you can see, guys, we are on the cusp. Not just going national. That's not what we're talking about. But we do stuff here that 99.9% of the others don't. We had Craig Mish on last night, and behind closed doors, I was talking to him, and he just said, just keep pounding the doors. Actually, Keep pounding the strike zone. Keep pounding the strike zone, guys. You guys do an amazing job. He told us anytime. So we might get a lot more Marlin reports. I love that team. I absolutely love the youth, the energy. I love Jazz. I love me some Jazz, let me tell you. So Bernie Fratto at some point this week from Fox Sports Radio will be on. We have some other big guests lined up. It sounds like the real Vegas Dave Sharapan will be on. I don't know if we'll get the full loud sports coat with Max and Fedora. He's been doing shows live for the draft all weekend. So we'll get some great war stories. We'll be talking some NHL playoffs as it starts on Monday, NBA round 2 playoffs, MLB every day. So this is where you want to be. It's your one-stop shopping. So I can't thank everyone enough. But please remember this. If you are wagering or investing today, please do it responsibly. If you have a problem, pick up the phone. Ask for help. There's an 800 number right at your fingertips. Why? Myself and Scotty here. We want to see you here today, tomorrow, next week, next month, through 2022 and beyond. From myself, Jeff Dawson at EC Sports Invest, from Scotty Webb at Webby20 MLB, we wish everyone a blessed day. Enjoy the last day of April. Tomorrow, May 1st. And we'll see you tomorrow at some point.